Hello, hopefully you can hear me. It's awfully windy today. It's the first day of spring. We had a snowstorm yesterday. It's melting pretty quick today. It was, it was something like minus 15 yesterday, and it's 1 degree right now and sunny. So I just wanted to give, the first ever garden tour, but also a winter tour, just so you have an idea of scale and where things are located. So first here, I think you can see these are 4 apple trees. One of them was planted previously, but 3 we added last year, the 3 smaller ones. You can see them in a line there. So one of the things I want to do this year is add a tree guild. So I'll get to some perennial bushes that we have other places, but those are all going to be relocated over here, along with some rhubarb and some herbs and some other things. So this is the main garden. It's still in flux. We added to it last year quite a bit. We added the 3 beds at the back are 4 by 8 each. Those were new last year. And these 2 4 by 4 beds we added last year. Everything else was previously located over there, and those will actually be moving over here as well this year. So the two in the middle there, those are 4 by 7 feet. This is a 3 by 3. This is either 4 by 10 or 4 by 11. I can't remember which one this is. I think this is the 4 by 10. And then still to move over here, there are 2 4 by 4s and the other 4 by 10 or 11. So why didn't these ones get moved? This one had some kale and brassicas and things in it that I was saving seed from and that I had planted in, and we just never got it moved. And the big one has a lot of perennials, a lot of things that are going to be moving into the tree guild, which we can go check out in a second. And same with this one this is a sage in the corner here. And then these are some roses that we dug up. Jarrett's family sold their family home last year, their family homestead. That was his great-grandmother's. And we went and dug up some of the rose bushes that lined the front yard. So we were hoping that these overwintered. We'd really like to plant those somewhere. So this was just acting as kind of a nursery bed. And same with this one. So these are some lavender plants. And I think that's a chive. I can't quite remember. There's also rhubarb in here, some strawberries. There's some asparagus that I started from seed. This will be their 3rd summer, so I didn't want to move them right away in case we might be able to harvest a few spears this year, but they might have to move and I might have to wait 1 more year. There's also, I think I mentioned strawberries, but there's quite a few strawberry plants in here. There's also raspberries. These are raspberries along the front. We have a red variety. I think it's Anne. And we also have a golden variety. I think it's called Fall Harvest or Golden Fall or something like that. That's a blackberry at the back there. And then there's also some blueberries and also a couple of haskell's. So all of these things will be moving to the tree guild, and these beds will be moving over to the main garden. That's my brother's house next door. He lives next door. And where these beds are, we're going to be adding a flower garden. Little maple update while we're out here. We're not having the best season. It warmed up for a few days. We have about 5 gallons or so. And then it got cold again, like super cold. So, I think you can see it can't flow if it's frozen. So the weather's supposed to warm up significantly today and tomorrow, and then for the rest of the week. I think it might even be like double digits, so, and something more manageable at night, like -4 instead of -18. So hopefully that starts running again, because before we know it, maple season's going to be over. So just for more context, this is just like a standard half-acre building lot on a cul-de-sac. It backs onto another road. The main road's over there. But about 5 years ago, I bought this lot beside us. So we have another half-acre to play with, but I've never cleared it or anything. I kind of want to decide what we're going to do with it before we start cutting, because I'd like to leave as many trees. These are all maples. They're young maples, and they're gorgeous in the fall, so I don't want to cut them if I don't have to. I think eventually the plan is a garage will go over here, but I think that's probably the 5-year plan. So I'm not sure we'll get to this or not this year. There's other things we want to do. There's a perennial bed here. This is some leftover soil from last year. And some pots that I grow in that I didn't clean up last year. I know I'm not the only one. So this was the first garden I put in here. I didn't really know what I was doing, probably, 7 years ago or something like that now. Shortly after I built this house and moved in. This is actually a fake rock. Our well is under there. So there's some things I love about it and some things I don't, and definitely some changes I want to make to it. Some transplanting of some things likely. Some leftover hollyhocks. At the back there's quite a few lupins, and they're kind of bullies. They take over everything, so I love them, but they need to go somewhere where they're not going to crowd everything else out. And then last year we put in perennial beds on this side of the house. That's a lilac bush that was planted in grass previously, so we put a garden around it, and in front of the house here as well. Our bird feeder's there, so there's lots of tracks and things. And this garden extends onto the other side of the house as well. Over here. Started putting things in, but it needs some more work this year. These are actually, I put a limelight hydrangea on either side of the steps. I think that'll be really pretty. There's some nepeta and yarrow planted too, some bulbs, some spring bulbs. Nothing's coming up yet. I haven't noticed anything, but. And this is a hardy kiwi vine that needs a more permanent trellis, because this is by far not tall enough for it. We're going to get something that goes all the way up, I think, but not there yet. And we're back at the beginning.